4 a.m. The alarm clock blares. Time for practice. Again. Between the ages of 6 and 17, 5 days a week, this was my morning routine. I was a competitive swimmer. Swimming was a major part of my life. The kids on my team were some of my closest friends. The YMCA became a home to me, a safe place. I spent hours on hours, day in and day out at the Y. The Y and my teammates were family. Swimming was the best thing to ever happen to me. Day in, day out, I did everything to get better in that pool, even just by a split second. Conditioning out of the pool and in the pool, all for that millisecond. Once high school rolled around and I swam varsity for my school, I continued to swim for the Y. Swimming meant everything to me. Out of everything I was involved in, swimming was the most important. It was my focus. It was my passion. Thinking about college in the end of my sophomore year and beginning of junior year always included thinking about swimming. I looked at schools with strong academics. Yeah, but the ones with a Division II or III swimming program were my top schools. All those years of hard work and dedication ended in just 1 second. High school swim season, fall of junior year, would be the last time I competitively swam, ever. That nippy fall day at the tech pool will be a day I will never forget. During a set of butterfly, I threw everything I had, my arms, my shoulders, upper body, forward into my butterfly stroke. And nothing would be the same again. Pain shot through my arm. I keeled over in the pool, quickly brought my arm down to my chest. This tremendous, unbearable pain brought me to tears. Tears filled my goggles, and I slowly and painfully made my way over to the side of the pool, cradling my arm. My coach came over to help me out of the pool. She sat me on the wet metal bleachers with a baggie of chunky ice and a red plastic water bottle. She looked at me, and these next words crushed me. "Kiddo, you're gonna need to sit this one out." Devastated, I sat out the remainder of that practice. The next day, I told my coach I was fine. Big mistake. I ignored the pain and continued to practice, not only swimming, but playing lacrosse, dance, teaching swim lessons. The pain caught up to me. A month later, even lifting my arm the slightest bit caused excruciating pain. I had no other option other than to finally go to the doctors. After a few x-rays and an MRI, the doctor called me into his office to give me the worst news of my life. Walked into the waiting room, heart pounding out of my chest, butterflies going crazy in circles in my stomach. Finally, the nurse brought me to the room, and I walk in to see the picture of my shoulder on his computer. Shit, I thought to myself. I could tell this wasn't going to be good. He sat down to tell me the devastating news. Your labrum is basically in half. You're out for at least a few months. I had torn my labrum tissue in near half. After months of no sports and physical therapy, there was no improvement. Next step, a cortisone shot. And still, nothing. It was late November 2012, and my orthopedic surgeon called me into his office to tell me there was no other way than surgery. Yes, he said, you will still be able to play sports, dance, swim again, but not at a competitive level. Tears rushing down my face. I was heartbroken, destroyed. Everything I had worked for was gone. Just like that. everything that shaped who I was gone. Christmas 2012. I went in for surgery to fix my labrum. I felt useless and lost. I didn't know who I was without swimming or any of the other activities I participated in. Broken. I turned to my academics, but mostly my Y family. They were my support system. Just to crack a joke, listen, be there for me. And a friend's father, longtime Y member, Mr. Welsh, really brought light to my situation, put everything into perspective, and helped me through my devastation. 2011 had been a tragic year for Mr. Welsh, to say the least. He lost his leg in a car accident, got divorced from his wife, and lost his youngest son and my friend. To say it was a rough year was an understatement. But even after all this tragedy, he is still the happiest, nicest, most positive man I know. And looking at him, I realized that if he can be okay and still so happy after all that, then I'll be okay. And I'll find myself again, somehow. So, with this new outlook, I took to my rehab, worked at the Y, went to school, did non-physical activity. I took time to really get to know myself, to find myself out of the pool, outside of swimming. I took on many extra hours working at the Y, teaching swimming lessons, sports lessons, lifeguarding, daycare, birthday parties. I reevaluated my college choices and focused more on other factors of the school. Academics, location, size, etc. Through this process, I was able to find myself. Who was I? I realized something. I'm more than the things that I do. I am who I am for my beliefs, my personality. I found who I was as a person. And that's how I found Penn State. I applied to a totally different pool of schools and found my home in the happiest of happy valleys. After all that self-reflection, I realized a few things. I wanted a big school, a school with lots of pride, solid academic program, a new location, and a large football program. Penn State stood out like a flashing neon sign. Penn State encompassed everything I needed as I found my new self. Penn State has been the best thing to ever happen to me, and without my shoulder surgery, I wouldn't be here. I would never have found myself as a person other than the things I did. I would never have found myself at this amazing university. I would never have made my home here with my best friends by my side, experiencing new things, most of which were amazing. And as cliche as it sounds, at the end of the day, everything really does happen for a reason. My career-ending injury is the reason I am where I am today. I am an ambitious, driven, young adult exploring the future and experiencing life at Pennsylvania State University, in the happiest of happy valleys, where I belong.